welcome to my vlog. I missed you so much. Okay, so this week we'll be talking about relationships. I love talking about relationship. I tell people that I feel it's my core. It's a topic that I love to explore. I love reading books about relationship. I love listening to messages about relationship. There's a conference on relationship. You definitely are going to see me there if I have the opportunity to attend, of course. So I believe so much in relationship because I have come to realize that God created us as social beings. God created us so we can relate with one another. God created us so we can live together in harmony regardless of our religious background, regardless of our socioeconomic status, regardless of our educational background or our ethnicity. God expects us to cohabit peacefully, have a very good relationship with one another. And I feel if we can get our relationships right, we would build a better family, we would have a better society. Imagine a woman who is whole as an individual and a man who's also whole as a person. Imagine both people coming together. I'm not saying they're going to be perfect. I'm not saying their relationship would be void of challenges or difficulties. But the truth is, the fact that the both of them have sought out certain things as individuals, they would better know how to work together in making sure that their relationship grows well, making sure that their relationship is healthy, and even when they have issues, they can sit down and resolve it as mature adults. And imagine the kind of children such people would raise, and ultimately our society would be void of certain mentally ill people that we have walking around, and you're wondering what happened in their childhood, who raised these people. A lot of people we see out there, they are a result of a failed parenting system. And if you want to check the parents, you find out that at some point in their lives also, they didn't maybe invest in being better individuals, or it's also a result of what happened to them whilst they were growing up as well. So I want us to explore different subjects on relationship in couple of weeks, and we're going to be starting with you. Yes, you. And I'm also talking about me as well. I believe that if you can pay attention to yourself, if you invest in yourself, if you focus on you, you understand you, it will help you relate with other people better. I studied communication in school, even though I don't think I'm one of the strongest communicators, but back in school there was this thing we were taught about, the fact that communication starts with you. Intra-communication, it starts with communicating with yourself before you go out to communicate with other people. And thinking about it whilst I was preparing for this series, I figured if in communication it starts with you, then I believe that in relationship, in dating, it should start with you as well. So today I'm going to be talking about intra-dating. Okay, and I saw a quote somewhere and I thought it would come in handy for this discussion. It says, someone who has great interpersonal awareness has a very solid sense of their own identity and personality. That is, someone who has a great intrapersonal awareness has a solid sense of their own identity and personality. So it's saying if you can get to understand yourself better, if you get to know who you are, then it means you ultimately have a strong personality. You become self-aware, you become confident in the person that you are, and ultimately it helps you relate with other people better. So the first thing you should do in dating yourself, in the process of intra-dating, is first understand yourself. And I'm going to be reading from Proverbs 24:3-4. It reads, "Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. 4. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches." I had mentioned several times that I really love the Message version, and I'm going to be reading this Proverbs 24:3-4 in the Message version. It says, "It takes wisdom to build a house, and understanding to set it on a firm foundation. It takes knowledge to furnish its rooms with fine furniture and beautiful draperies." So as you can see, for you to build anything, for you to have something that is firm, that is solid, you need wisdom. Which is why I've written down here that our first goal in dating ourselves should be to understand yourself. So you need to understand your strengths, you need to understand your weaknesses. There are certain people that we come across, and they do certain things, and you're asking them, why did you behave like that? And they're like, I don't know, I just did it. I don't know why I act like that. It shouldn't be. You should know why you do certain things. You should know how you shouldn't do certain things. You should know the things that you're strong at and things that you're weak at. And in knowing your strengths, it helps you focus on developing your strengths. It helps you know that, oh, so I'm very good at talking, so maybe I want to take more classes on public speaking. Oh, I'm very good at writing, so I probably want to concentrate more on writing and learn more on improving my writing skills. And knowing your weaknesses, it's not for you to feel bad about yourself. We don't have 100% human being on earth. We all have our flaws, we all have places where we need to improve on. And I've heard the saying that if you know your weakness, especially in the workspace, you probably want to hire your weakness. So if you're that kind of person whose strength isn't writing, then you probably want to hire somebody who's going to do the writing for you. If you're that person who your strength isn't in doing chores, but your house needs to be tidy always, if you can afford it, then by all means get somebody who would help you do that aspect of your life, who would help you bring order to that aspect of your life. And another thing you should do is you should know your triggers, know those things that makes you happy, those things that make you happy, and those things that turns you off. I tell people that you can't come to me and tell me, Chichi, I know this about you and you don't know it, because I have taken out time to know my strengths and my weaknesses, and it took me a while to get to this point. It took me a while. There were times in my life where I didn't know why I was acting the way I acted at the time, but it took me time of study, time of trying to check myself and look within to know, okay, so why do I do things this way? Why do I react to certain things in this way? So when I became aware of those triggers, that okay, if someone talks to me this way, this is the reaction, this is how I respond to it. I either try to avoid that person or learn how to manage the situation so much that it doesn't get escalated. So find out your triggers, know what it is that makes you happy and what makes you sad. And finally, find out your purpose in understanding yourself. Find out your purpose. I tell people that the best time to know the reason for which you're here is before you get into a relationship, either a dating relationship or ultimately getting married. Find out why you are here. I have said it over and again that for each and every one of us here on earth, God has created us for a purpose. There's a reason for which you're here on earth. You're not a mistake, you're not a happenstance. God created you for a particular purpose. And I believe that until you find that purpose, you really don't have any business wanting to go into somebody's life or being paired with another person. Let me give you an example. I remember one day we went for I think a program. I was volunteering at that program, and at some point I was called upon to do certain thing, and afterwards a lady called me and she was like, that I'm really happy seeing you, young lady, doing all of this, that you have the time to do this, that she wished she could do those things that I was doing, but she can't because her husband won't let her. And I remember asking her that, were you doing those things, or did you mention to your husband whilst you were dating that you wanted to do these things? She said no, that at the time she met him, she hadn't realized that these were things that she loved. It was in the course of her marriage or something that she discovered that, she loves this kind of thing. She would love to go into charitable causes and all of that. So imagine if she had found that out. I think it would have helped her to better choose a partner who would support her in that maybe career path or in that thing she's passionate about. So you don't want to be joined with a man or a woman who at the end of the day you're saying you want to do this business or you want to go back to school and the person is telling you no, you can't. But imagine if you had already mapped out the things you want to do before this person comes into your life. You'll be able to have that conversation in the course of your relationship. The person is dating you, or letting the person know, at some point in my life, this is what I want to do. I would love to go back to school. I would love to own my own organization. I would love to do charitable causes. I would love to travel the world. So you guys can have that conversation and reach a compromise on how to, go about whatever goals you want to achieve in such a way that it is mutually beneficial and convenient for the both of you, as opposed to one partner saying, no, you can't do this completely, you are mine now, and I decide what it is you're supposed to do with your life. So please make sure that you find out your purpose before you think about dating someone else. So whilst you're dating yourself, find out the purpose for which you have been created. And number 2, become a healthy person. You have to be healthy. If you want to date another person, you have to be healthy, you have to be cool. The first thing you want to do is to be content with where you are on your way to where you're going. You don't, if you are still the kind of person who looks at other people and tries to compare themselves with what other people are achieving or what other people are doing, you're going to have issues in your relationship, because you might be going into that relationship with certain insecurity. So maybe this partner is doing all he's set out to do, he's pursuing his purpose, he's doing well in his career, and because you are not even content with what it is you're doing at the time you're dating that person, you start feeling insecure. So be content with yourself whilst you're dating you now, before you meet the person who God is going to bring your way, or who you would eventually ask out as a guy. Make sure that you're content with who you are. Make sure that you're comfortable in your own skin. Make sure that you're pleased with yourself, and also making efforts to be better. And also, you want to develop and invest in healthy relationship. There's a Yoruba saying that says, "Eniyan lasho mi." It means humans are the clothes with which I adorn myself. And I mean, it simply means that in life, you're going to be needing people. You need people to help you, not necessarily to give you money, but I mean, you just might need something, and a friend of yours would be the middleman between that next goal you want to achieve. So you need people, and not just anybody. Invest in healthy relationship, build healthy relationship, people whose core values and yours are aligned, people who are go-getters, people who are positive-minded, people who are goal-oriented, not people who would bring you down, people who would curse at you. I remember one time when I was in school, I listened to a message by Fela Drote, and he talked about his friends back in Ife, that whenever they came across each other, you hear them healing themselves. How far, Your Excellency, oh bless you, greatness, President. And that he really liked those set of friends, that they sort of boost his confidence compared to the friends he used to have, who whenever they saw each other, it would be Oloshi, Were, and all of those things, So you want to have friends who would inspire you to be better. You want to invest in relationship that would push you, that would stretch you, that would make you see that you can achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to. And of course, you also want to be a person who inspires them to want to pursue their goals, to want to be better in life, because it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. And also, under becoming a healthy person, be the kind of partner you desire. Be the kind of partner you desire. I hear a lot of people say, I want a man to be like this, I want a woman to be like this, and all of that. And I look at them, and most times, those things they are listing out, those things that they are turning out that they want to see in a partner, they don't even have those things. They don't possess it. So if you're the kind of person who's saying you want your partner to be an academic, you want him to be intelligent and all of that, be sure that you are intelligent as a lady. If you're the type that you're saying, I want my partner to be a prayer warrior, I want him to be a spirit cuckoo, be sure that as a lady, you're also one who is obeying God, you're one who's following God's precepts. Be sure that you're also a Christian who's aligned, who's living a righteous life, and not be that person who's still going to wherever, I don't want to mention names, and you're there saying you want a perfect person. So whatever it is you desire in a partner, instead of looking out for that thing in other people, concentrate on being that individual. Concentrate on being that partner that you desire. You want a wealthy partner, concentrate on building wealth yourself. Have your own money, get a job, start a business, learn a trade or something. Invest in yourself. Go back to school if you have to. Learn to read if you want a partner who reads well. Because ultimately, you attract who you are. You are, at the end of the day, when you invest so much in yourself, that you become that woman, that you become that man who wants a fantastic partner, who's intellectually okay, who's spiritually balanced, who has his finances working for him, he has a career or a business that is doing very well. When you are that person, naturally, you attract such people to yourself. Because hey, if you're a career-driven person, it means you're going to be going for certain conferences, you're going to be going to certain places, and you are interacting with the same set of people in the space that you're in, and who knows, you just might find someone in that category. And I would like to mention that it doesn't always work this way anyway. Sometimes it might not be in your sect, it might not be in your circle that you find that person. But what I'm trying to say is concentrate on investing in yourself, concentrate on being that person that you want to see in other people, and ultimately you attract those things to yourself. You attract those sort of people because they will see those virtues in you, they will see those character traits in you, and they'll go like, oh, this is the kind of person that I want to be with. And ultimately you get to build a healthy relationship. And finally, number 3, I need you to understand that being in a relationship isn't an end in itself. It is a means to an end. You know, I'm tired of people who carry this issue of marriage and relationship like gala on their head, and they pause their life, they put a whole lot of things on hold just because they are not in a relationship. Listen to me, being in a relationship, getting married is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. And in case you're wondering, so what is this end? This end is bringing glory to God. This end is bringing men to the kingdom of God. This end is ultimately making heaven at the end of the day. Because what shall it profit you? What shall it profit me if I have a fantastic relationship with a fantastic man whose core values, whose character trait and everything aligns with mine? We have a relationship, we got married, and we have lovely kids, and at the end of the day, we don't make heaven. At the end of the day, we didn't make any impact in our world whilst we were here. I mean, of what use is that? It's not profitable to anybody. So it is not an end, it is a means to an end. Being in a relationship, getting married is not an end in itself. The end is God. The end is bringing men to the kingdom of God. The end is you making heaven at the end of the day, because trust me, we are here temporarily. Heaven is real, hell is real. So whilst you're thinking about dating yourself, being a healthy person, investing in yourself, and waiting for that day when God will bring your path that wonderful partner, I need you to understand that that person also should be someone who at the end of the day, he or she is aware that being in a relationship, being married is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. And I hope you've learned one or two things about how you can date yourself, about how you can be comfortable with yourself. So number 1, understand yourself. Get understanding, get knowledge, so that you can be a firm individual, you can have a good foundation, so that when a partner comes your way, together you both can build something worthwhile. Become healthy, invest in good relationship, develop yourself, be the kind of partner that you want, be content where you are, whilst you walk towards being a better person. And it is not an end in itself. Being in a relationship, getting married is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. And if you're unequally yoked with the wrong person, it will truncate God's plan for your life. Next week, we're going to be talking about who to date. Now that you have known how to date yourself, next week, we're going to explore character traits, things you should look out for in choosing a partner, in getting into that relationship that will lead to a marriage that is wonderful, that is blissful. Till we meet again next week, make sure that you live a chaste, focused, and purposeful life. And know that I love you. God loves you more. Bye-bye.